Hello, welcome to another afternoon episode of Live at MCX, where we have conversations with experts, partners, and pros about anything under creative media technology. So if you're into audio and video production, live events or broadcasts, or even a budding content creator, or even a live streamer, stick around because this is right up your alley. Now, this episode continues to dive into the latest trends in video production. And today we are pleased to have one of our very special friends of MediaCast, Mr. Shahram. How are you, Mr. Shahram?
Thank you so much for the invitation. And again, thanks, Lawrence and Majd, for this actually chance to give me to at least be with you and possibly discuss about some topics, cinematography, filmmaking, and all those.
And we're very excited. And I say we because apart from Mr. Shahram, we also have a new host for the show. And let's all welcome Majd.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. I'm very happy to be part of Live at MCX for this season. And very happy to have you today, Mr. Shahram.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you. I'm fine. Thank you.
And there's another one. We have a very new set. Not sponsored by anyone, but we have a new set right now. So let's dive into the topic, shall we?
Perfect. So basically, Shahram has been a very known name on MediaCast. So, but for those who are not aware of you, can you tell us?
Those are many.
You're really known here with us. So can you tell us about yourself for
Yes,
the
of
audience?
course. My name is Shahram Aderangui. I'm actually poor cinematographer from Iran and working and living in Dubai since more than 20 years almost this year. And my field of work is cinematography. That, of course, we can explain, but many of your actually audiences, they know already. This cinematography means the one that is responsible for the look of the film. That cinematographer is the one that actually lighting the set, is the one that actually discussing the camera movements, what to do, and compositions, and all those things that finally will give a look to a film. Or content, whatever nowadays they are actually speaking about that. Then I'm in this field since I was 18 years old, and it's exactly now 41 years past that I'm in this business. Of course, I enrolled to Faculty of Cinema. That is the oldest cinema school, film school in the region, in the Middle East, actually, I can tell you. Because I think maybe older than us was in India, or I'm not sure, in Egypt. But as far as I know, ours is now is more than 64 years, something like that.
Okay.
And it's still is good one, and that's it.
Wow, that's a long.
That's a lot.
Right.
And that's one of our reasons really when we started the concept of Live with MCX. We really wanted to have people who would really give value to the show, and someone of your experience, of course, and your
Very
reputation.
kind of you.
It's
Thank you.
this is true. And you're I mean, personally, you're one of the people in the industry that I really respect and adore. And
That's quite kind
we
of
rarely
thank
see each
you.
other. We see each other during trade shows and
Oh,
all.
really?
But then, but I
But our hearts are actually together, something like
Intertwined.
that. So, yes,
So
exactly.
it seems like you really like the cinema and the filmmaking.
Yes, actually, it was a passion to enter to this space, the film. Of course, like any those days, there were no Instagram, there were no other type of medias than TV and movie.
Yeah.
Then you had this too, and this was something that we had this passion to be in. Of course, the Hollywood movies or some those great movies that always they were screening, or in TV. We had a very good mm, actually TV before. I mean, during 90s, 60s, and 70s in Iran, they were showing many productions, whether local productions or even the international ones from US, Europe, and they were showing. They had even classic films. And this was what really I can tell you. Taught those like me that how to look at the cinema, how to really, if they love to continue those things, how to enter. First, once I was in a college for this 1 year college for the filmmaking. It was a short-term college, 1 year almost. And once they taught us the size of the shots, close up, long shot, extreme long shot, all those things that you have to know. And they told us, okay, one small story you have to cut now on the paper. That French, they're calling it découpage, as we are calling that shooting script.
Okay.
And this shooting script that has to be really ready for the shoot, it was for those like me, without teaching us anything how we have to do, because we saw many movies before. Then it was something for us natural how to cut. Now is the time for the close-up, time for that one. These are the things that really helping you. Your the background of how did you live, or how did you actually were involved with the watching. For any, I'm not claiming that I'm an artist, because it's a big maybe my opinion a bit needs to be much more explain that who is the artist really, who is an artist really. But this is something that you cannot teach to people the way you can teach the technique to everyone. In the schools, they are teaching technique to you, but that means you can get the craft, how to be a craftsman. But to be an artist is something that is combination of that craft and what is really comes from your somehow creative mind.
And your passion to really.
The passion is the first thing that moving you there. Yes, I remember when I was because you have to pass a great exam to enter the university. It was not that way. They were capable to be accepted to be enrolled. It's not easy. As far as I remember, among 17,000 something that had been enrolled, only 7 or 8 were capable to enter the film school. It was not easy. And I remember when I was writing that, because you have that, it was not just like a test examination. You have to explain, you have to write down, you have to draw even, And I remember that part that you have to explain around. I thinking I'm writing a love letter to my love, something that I was not capable to stop my pen to how to write down. Yes, this is a passion. But once we entered to university, all the passion had been killed by some bureaucratic system, and by some you have to learn this, and you have to learn this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, or something. It was not we were expecting. But nowadays, I see the way was not that much bad, but how it had been executed was a bit bad otherwise.
Yes.
It was hard to really get.
No, you have passion to make movie. Of course, I have workshops here, as Lawrence knows also. Many youngsters are attending, many for the new medias, for new way of the making contents or something like that. Once we are teaching them cinematography, of course they should know some basic theories about theoretically how to what is this, what they have to know. Then they can work much better. But all of them, they have passion to just touch the camera. Just they think that within three days they can be a cinematographer, and they can. It's not that way. I told you that teaching the craft is easy. Really, those that they taught us even 3 years, now we can really make it compact and like a package give to you within 3 days, maximum 1 week.
Okay.
But how to use this one, how to that knowledge could be implemented to your work, that's something that is coming from your creative mind. We cannot teach people creativity. People has to do by themselves.
Yes.
It's not that someone was born creative and the others are not. No, how they have this passion to divert those that they have in their mind to be creative. That's the.
Sometimes it's also technicality. So
Yes,
we work together. I give him some ideas. I can't do it without his technicality somehow. So
Yes, of course, it's combination.
more of
See,
technicality as
but at my time, they were calling that cinema is the seventh art. I don't maybe you heard about that one also. Okay,
I don't know the other
but
six.
actually, yeah, there are seven arts like dancing, painting,
Okay, yeah.
photography, or something. It was that time really. Day by day, personally, I believe that cinema is not a pure art. It's not a pure art. Cinema is a combination of industrial somehow revolution and art together. Without these industrial things, it's like you don't have any equipment, you cannot record the voice, you cannot have the camera, you couldn't edit, you couldn't do anything. Then there's industry behind that, and this industry actually providing you tools that you can make by your creativity, make contents, you can make movies, you can make great things. Then it's not just a pure art. Even photography, but those that you can without any tools you can do, even they could be art really. That's something like that. But any art, they have their own tools, of course.
Yes.
So before you went to the university, how did you get into the filmmaking? Did someone influence you, or did you something happened?
No. Since childhood, I was going a lot to movies, and TV was something that there was no restriction in our home. We were able to watch any movie we want.
Who's your favorite actor? When you were young.
When I was young, many actors, of course, you cannot say only one. They were very famous. Alain Delon, he was a French, very good-looking actor, and he had some resemblance to my oldest brother also somehow.
I thought to me, but
yes, you are good-looking in your way also. But he was, of course, the favorite, and of course, many of them, because the movie was really favorite, and they were screening in my country, and of course in TV also there were a lot. But I think one of the turning points that I really took the cinema serious thing. I think I really I was just enjoying like anyone. Was of course one of the most important duties actually of motion picture is entertainment. And I will tell you something that later we will laugh. This is really happened. But that turning point came after watching the movie The Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter. Okay.
For me, I didn't know any of those actors, and of course I watched many movies before, even in the TV or something. I was, I think, 15 years old, something like that, yeah. And who they are? This movie looks like a documentary. How they are not acting, they are themselves. What's that? And since that time, my favorite actors are Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep.
Okay.
And I think it's hard for any other actor could beat what they brought to the screen, really. But of course, there were many other actors from my own country also that we really liked them, like Peruz Vusuri and Entezami, Nasirian. They were really great actors. Of course, in the Iranian cinema, they are quite famous, and there are a lot again. And there's no time to name them. They are really great for that times. Then that was that. Then I started to read a lot about the cinema. There were a few books that time. Due to I told you I liked Alain Delon. One of the movies that was really also. Let me tell you something. This to stop that. It's not my belief. It's something that really. Motion pictures are motion pictures, and they should talk by pictures. They should tell you the story by the pictures. dialogues are just helping.
Uh-huh.
If you see a movie that the dialogues are exactly what you see exactly on the screen, it's better to be a podcast or
Yeah.
maybe a radio show, because you don't need the pictures then for that. That's the reality. Then, as much as your pictures are speaking, you don't need dialogues. Of course, but the sound effect and the others will bring some
Yeah.
natural look to your film, natural existence to your film. Then this is important that as much as you can avoid unwanted dialogues that not helping, the movie will actually tell the story much more in a very better narrative way. Then that's the thing that this movie named Le Samouraï,
Okay.
the samurai. There is no samurai inside. It's not Japanese movie. It's a French movie. If you didn't get the chance to watch it for sure.
Okay.
It has, I think, almost a 2 hours movie. It doesn't have more than 3 to 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes dialogue, and you will understand the movie with whole your cells of your body, not just your
Yes.
mind, your eyes. This is very nice movie, and the director that is maybe my most favorite, Jean-Pierre Melville. He used lots of ellipses.
Yeah.
You don't need to somehow show all the way that the guy is going top of the staircases, or you don't need to show all. You can speak by cuts even. The cut will give you much more. This ellipse is helping the audience to use its own mind and completely guess what happened, something that they didn't show, but you can guess. This is the right way of filmmaking from many those that they believe a pure cinema.
Yeah.
But of course, it doesn't mean that those movies that they have dialogues are not valuable. There are a lot that they are very nice, and many adaptations of Shakespeare and all the others on the screen also prove that that's the
Yeah, I agree. And this time I actually remember one of my professors, and he actually told our class before that, remember, a picture can actually paint 1,000 words, just a picture. That's a frame. And then in film you have 24 frames per second. So how, that 24 frames a second, that's a lot of messages that you can convey in that. How do you do it? How do you push your narrative towards your images, and that's the same ideology that when you were saying that, sometimes you don't need the dialogue to push the
You
idea.
can find really artistic way of filmmaking in great TV commercials. See, you have a limited maximum spot, maybe 5 seconds or even 15 seconds or 30 seconds,
Yes.
maximum 1 minute, depends on how they planned already. And you have to tell the story with not much dialogues.
Yeah.
Why? Because at the end you have some voiceover for the product, and of course you are very limited, and the pictures that's why the good TV commercials are the battlefield for the filmmakers.
Yes.
Many great filmmakers like Ridley Scott. They were great commercial makers, and they are great commercial makers. Still, they are making those. That's helping you to how to implement that one also to the larger screen and for the feature films.
I agree. Super.
Exactly. طيب, how the film in the UAE is now compared to, let's say, 5 to 10 years ago? How is it now?
Compared to 5 to 10 years, not much change that way, but because also, as you know, this pandemic also stopped many of these developments for this thing. But compared to 20 years ago, it's quite a great change, drastically changed. There are now many local movies that they are making, although mostly made, I think, comedy movies or these things. And that time, 20 years ago, rarely, maybe some Indian productions, they were using Dubai and UAE as a background or maybe the background of their story. But nowadays there are many, not many, I can tell, still far behind those countries that they are film producers, like India, even Iran, even Nigeria, and even Germany or France, or of course the United States. That it's mind blowing. You think how many movies, feature films they are making in India annually? How many? A lot. Just guess. 2,500.
I was about to say
But
that.
if I tell you, if I tell you that, please give me, once you want to make a screenplay, you need to first choose your theme.
Yes.
What is the theme that you want to do? It's actually about theme about love and passion, love and hate, or something, whatever, loyalty and betray or something. You have to choose it. You cannot find more than 20 themes. And how 2,500 annually making? Mostly because they are copies of each other with different actors. Because almost, I can tell you, 99% of those movies are just for entertainment. People are just watching to see their own favorite actor in this role and that role. Today is Batman, the next movie is a protagonist, a good man, something like that. Another one is as a villain or something like that. That's the thing. But you cannot find more than 20, maybe 30 themes for this. That's production. This one, I don't want to be missed this. Many people, they believe that for the movie, you should have a message in your movie.
Yes.
You heard about that, yes? I forgot who said this one, maybe Samuel Goldwyn or maybe, what's the name? The other one, Louis B. Mayer. Metro Goldwyn Mayer came from their name and this. I think it was Louis B. Mayer, if I'm not mistaken. They asked him that, Mr. Mayer, your movies doesn't have any message to audience.
Okay.
And he replied that motion pictures are for entertainment. Messages has to be delivered by Western Union. As you know, Western Union before was a telegraph company.
Yeah.
There was not just now. They are actually for the transactions of the financial transactions. Then changed. But what is really now, I hope this year, I'm reading that it's going to happen. Some famous universities, they are actually opening their filmmaking faculties. I don't know how they will be successful. There were a few short courses or there's some teaching, but the most important is that a good movie need a good screenplay.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that should happen in UAE, that they have to start to somehow produce some nice screenplays that maybe would be somehow turned to be very nice movies or something. But for the meantime, of course, industries and also rental houses, they have the latest stuff that mostly they're really advanced stuff that same as those that they are using in Hollywood. And even post-production houses, as you know, they are a lot for the sound also. Yeah. It's quite changed. In 20 years, really drastically changed.
That's a lot.
But compared to 5 to 10 years ago, of course, changed because the technology changed. Many things also, platforms changed. Of course, they are also modifying so fast and good with themselves, actually modifying themselves with the change of the platforms and those that.
And I also think the accessibility to equipment.
Something is that these are whatever I'm saying. These are my these are not verses. They are something that I'm actually I actually understood. All around the world, these changes are gonna happen. Platforms changed and many way of the making changed. But one of the things that I think is a transition time, even happening in UAE and also other countries. The quality of the commercials or the marketing contents are really bad now. The reason I think is that those that entered this market came from other businesses, and they are not much creative to make those things. And but because the tools are easy to use, you have phone, you can shoot even slow motion with your phone, as you have iPhone or other phones. I don't know many other ones, that even Android ones. You can shoot even high speeds up to 900 frames per second. That it was a nightmare 20 years ago when I came here. I was among a few that capable to shoot high speed.
With Phantom?
And the camera was no, it was not Phantom. It was Wisecam HS1 and HS2 later. But the Phantom, they came they at the same concept, because it had this rolling shutter issues and this higher frame. You should have strobes and there are lots of things, as you know.
Yes.
Nowadays all are
Thank
going
you.
to be phased out because technology changed and speed of the processors and all the others are really solved this problem. But we had lots of these troubles, and in that time, the people that they were in this business, they were really trained, or they were really, as you said, they're passionate for that, and they even maybe self-taught people or something, or even by experience, but they were in this business. Nowadays, most of these contents that you see, and I cannot tell that you cannot stop, because also there is a demand. They have to produce, and many people, they don't want to pay. They want to the right person or something like that. Then they are hiring those that they, and it's somehow, I cannot say it's also, it has a good parts. Maybe among 100, you could find 2 or 3 creative that they can continue in this way, but the others will just take it as a business, and okay, after the way they will go to another business or something like that. But with the phone and all the other things, it's made very, very easy to make contents. But the good one needs mind.
Yes. And I think you've mentioned about some cameras a while ago. And I think in one of your project, you've used one of our cameras. Can you tell us something about that project?
Yes, actually, it was 2020, end of 2019, that we choose to use Orsa Mini.
The 4.6?
4.6.
Okay.
And that was quite a good camera. I can tell you that dynamic range was quite impressive. And camera was user-friendly. It was really, by all those gadgets that the others that we set it up, that it was really production camera. We used PL mount lenses, ultra prime.
Okay.
On that, and quite good quality. Super 35 was the size of the sensor. And there was something that later we found, of course, that maybe because I didn't use again that the same camera on the high speed, because we shot raw, actually Blackmagic raw, and the highest resolution. Then once we shot high speed, I think we shot in 100 frames per second. There were some drop frames. It was okay, because not many drop frames, but later we discussed, I think maybe the card that we used was not much high speed card or something like that, but still but the camera itself, what delivered, you can see Netflix. The movie's name is Chromosome. It's a local production by Mr. Ali Jamal, that he's also quite experienced actor in UAE, and they did good. And also screened on cinemas, Fox cinemas and the others. Maybe not for the long, because usually here local films will stay maximum 1 month or something. But some productions that they bring money, of course, from Hollywood or the others, that's you can watch it in the Netflix, and there are also I think they used also your for the post production, they used this result, but the
Interesting. You should put that as a note.
Yes. I have a question. What is that camera that made you decide, like, this camera is for this? Like, do you usually decide that this camera is for this or
And that for that
Honest
chromosome,
video,
for
this
example.
is the thing. Honest video. We have a standard for the using the cameras for the feature films because it should be somehow match with those that requirements of those platforms.
Yes.
Whether this is cinemas or in
Streaming on
Netflix streaming systems. Yes, exactly. Or OTTs or something
Yeah.
like that. That's the thing. They will tell you that you should have a 4K camera, native 4K camera, and the resolution shouldn't be less than that. And the codecs that you are using should be. Now they are a bit much more, much more easygoing than before. They are also accepting ProRes 4x4 or ProRes RAW or those things. But before they were saying only RAW and this one and that. That's why we choose to shoot with your camera because it was delivering, although compressed RAW, but quality was good, and it was 4.6, more than enough native, and that's it. But let me, sorry, I'm a bit blunt for these things.
Sure.
From Blackmagic, this camera is amazing because we were not expecting that. I remember your first camera, Cine camera in 2012.
Yes.
It was, I think, a 2/3 inch sensor, something, even not APS-C or not
Slightly
Super
smaller.
35.
Yeah.
Yes, small one. That time was the transition time of the film to digital medias like this. And of course, Red camera was the first one that was quite successful.
Yeah.
And it was going to beat many other brands. Even there were a few also, but they were not. They were very expensive, and they couldn't compete with those prices with Red. Red's price was $20,000, something like that, and giving quite acceptable and 4K from the start. 4K, and Ari had no digital camera at that time, and they started this D21, D22, which experimental cameras that was hard to work with because they were really bulky and they need extra, a huge like fridge recorder S2 and all the others.
You need people to
But
carry.
they brought the Alexa, and this is the thing that I want to bring this topic because you asked for. They had to choose better pixel over higher pixels.
Okay.
Red was already in the market and delivering higher pixels. They should choose which one. They choose the better pixels. That's why since that time, the sensor that was LF3 that time delivered something almost a film look, because it was almost more than 14 stop.
Yeah. I think it's
latitude
16. Yeah.
or dynamic range in the electronics or something like that, and that was made it successful. But it was recording 2K. How comes in a market that dominated by 4K Red, or there was no Blackmagic camera that time, 2010 I was speaking, and then how comes that 2K came? Let me tell you. For normal eyes, human eyes, watching a 2K content and the 4K content closer than 10 meter, from 10 meter, you couldn't find that what's the difference.
Yes.
You couldn't judge this is 2K or 4K. Then 2K is more than enough. And for your information, resolution of the greatest movies of the history of cinema are maximum 2K.
Yeah.
These 4Ks and the other things came to actually
Marketing.
it's not technology, it's not the marketing.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, see, let me tell you,
Yeah, of
now
course.
I find why. I was telling you how comes 2K is more than enough and why we are going for 4K. Okay, technology is telling 4K is this is okay, great. Then what about the storage? Once you are editing, you need huge storage, faster. Of course, also these are forecasts for new business. We cannot stop that. Of course, maybe now you have 12K camera, and maybe we have 20K camera, but for the human eyes, still not changed. Human eyes won't change even maybe next 200 years. Maybe evolution will happen again more and something like that. That their eyes can really find the difference between two resolutions. Then that's a technology we cannot stop. But for those that they want to choose their camera, even 2K camera, even HD and 2K are not much different. Are more than enough. But what we choose is something that can deliver great balance of the light and shadow and the shadow details, and then you can choose you want those shadow details or you don't want. Then you can in the post eliminate them or no, add to it. But at least you somehow expose this one, somehow capture this one on your media, whether it's film or digital media.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because when you speak about the difference between film and digital right now, I think it also in 2012 where there's like I think 2012 was the vital year wherein the curve of digital and traditional film actually intersected, and then the digital cinema has increased.
Still some of the filmmakers, they believe on film. Yeah. Like Christopher Nolan, that even his latest movie,
Oppenheimer,
shot on the IMAX and 65mm camera and some company. They use some digital cameras for as a backup, but mostly on the film. And they believe. See, I cannot say that he's wrong or something like that. Film has a grain that you can add even during the post-production to that. It has a grain that its grain is even, like a plasma moving in the picture. And it's a film. Luckily now with this progressive stuff, we can mock up the look of the intermittent movement of the film. 24 or 25. Not a video look. Now, most of the cameras, even your camera, they're delivering cinema look. Yeah. They are quite okay for that. But this is somehow problem, maybe my problem. I cannot find difference between this expensive Macintosh amplifier output and maybe Bose. I cannot, of course, the cheap ones, maybe they're Bose. That one is 100 times more expensive than this one. Some people, it has a warm voice or something. I cannot. I have, this is maybe my weakness.
Yeah, I think it's
and somehow they are, no, this is the word. This is fantastic taste of this burger. You couldn't find such a thing. I don't know, but this is something that some people can really, they have special taste or they have special perceptions that they can find this type of differences. Of course, quality, if it's low quality, I think many people can really could find it. But among the highest qualities, all the others are marketing, I think, mostly that are speaking.
At the end, all of us will see it the same. As you said, the eye is...
Yes, see, I can see it. I don't want to... This is not something... See, with your camera, we can shoot movies and successfully screen it with quite good. Of course, Ari dominated the niche market of the really highest, greatest productions of the world somehow, as we know. Or Red also at the second, as a second one or something. Yours also has now its place. There are others also. But this is the thing. All of them are tools. Technology and all these things, you have a threshold for that. But you cannot go below that one. But from more than that, it's more than enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the highest. You can keep in between or something that really is enough to use as a tool and tell your story. At the end, the best camera you use and the worst film you can deliver doesn't mean that.
Absolutely.
And something, let me tell you, because I'm speaking too much, but this is it. If you came out of the movie theater and said, this movie's music was amazing, that means this movie was bad.
Because the
And if you said the cinematography was extraordinary, and again that movie is bad. And even if you came out and you just said, oh, the actors were great, also that movie is bad. But once you came out, didn't speak about anything, just you think that the whole movie, like how it was well balanced, everything was at its place, screenplay was amazing, the actors really delivered what they expected from the screenplay, and the director really directed them properly, and the cinematography was matched with the story and what they said. All music was at this time, and effects and all those things or something. Then you didn't talk about all these things, but you pleased the movie. That means that's a good movie.
So
Movie you have to see as a whole. You cannot just categorize that this one was good. What something is really bold, that means that movie is not good.
Yeah. And if you get out of the movie theater after half of the movie, I think that's also a bad movie. That counts as a bad movie.
Usually scary movies are that way. You see that this is the same copy of the other one, and
Yes,
then I
I've
watch that
seen this. So,
in this one.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, once the movie, I'm sorry, maybe you will later censor this one. What I'm telling you, but this is happened. There was a famous Harry Cohen that he was head of the Columbia studio, and he was somehow the owner of the people. Even whoever he hired, they have to be quiet. What he says is the last word. That's it. And this is really what one of the famous Fritz Lang, one of the famous German that later exiled to US and then made film there. So Fritz Lang, this is from his account. He said in one of his interviews that there was a first premiere screening of a new movie in Columbia Auditorium, movie theater itself. Everybody was ready. All the screenplay writers has to be there. All the directors has to be there. Cinematographers. This was something they have to be. All that actually were employees of those. They were calling it the studio era. That studios were talking. They were everything. They were owner of the actors. If they want to play that, if other was actor like you have to sit on the bench. You cannot play. That's the thing. This is what the head of the studio was, and Harry Cohen was such a thing. They were waiting for the Harry Cohen. He came the last one that he came. Everybody sit and started. Movie finished. He stand up and said, "Thank you. Was very nice, very well. It has 11 minutes extra time. I think you have to cut it 11 minutes." And Long said everybody was quiet because they knew that the last word is Cohen. But one young screenplay writer raised his hand and said, "Mr. Cohen, sorry, I'm young and I just want to know, what not exactly 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, just exactly 11 minutes. How did you know that?" He said, young man, because it's exactly 11 minutes that I cannot sit on the... and I have to stand up.
So that's exactly why 11.
Exactly.
I think
Then they had a good taste. They were right. Because once he said that I have to stand up, he is exactly putting himself in the shoes of the audience.
Yes.
Audience is tired. It's boring. 11 minutes. That's the thing. He didn't say where you have to cut. He said just shorten that.
but there are movies that I have sat for like 3 hours and I didn't feel anything.
No,
And
many movies.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in America is one of them.
Yeah.
Even the full version, if you watch it and watch it again.
Yeah.
Of course, many 3 hours movies.
Yeah.
I don't know La Dolce Vita. If you watch that movie, it's almost 3 hours.
Oppenheimer was almost 3 hours.
Oppenheimer was almost 3 minutes, and then.
There are some 2 hour movies.
And there are even 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 TV series. One episode of 14 minutes you cannot pay.
Yeah.
What's that about? That's the reality. But quality of, and also amazing screenplays now you will find even over the OTTs, Netflix, Prime. They have nice productions even.
Correct.
And they are good. TV series now, they are really overtaking the movies some space. Technologically they are really good. They have mostly Atmos sound system, and then the Atmos sound, as you know, it's somehow even for the not action, they're using Atmos because they said that this is the thing, and then they have the technology.
The immersive.
Are you also in Blackmagic and actually MediaCast? Are you providing this type of sound recording for the Atmos?
Yes, we do. We do have a product from Apogee that actually simulates Atmos.
It's 42. Not 42. Originally has to be in the.
I think it has different.
Yeah, but
numbers,
it has different numbers, but of course, but it's objective. It's
Yes,
not
it is.
channel based. Yeah,
And at the same time, DaVinci Resolve supports Atmos
yes,
as well.
that's good.
So you can mix that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. So for now, we'll have some rapid questions that will be the answer yes or no.
This is exciting.
Okay, so
No explanations, right?
Yes. Question 1. Autofocus tracking is overrated? Yes or no?
Overrated. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Manual lenses are mostly better than electronic lenses?
Not necessarily. I cannot say this is the thing. No. No.
No? Okay. Cinematography is a dying art amongst young ones. Sir.
Cinema moving. You mean the? Yes, but depends on the. Really, I think this movie, like what was the name? I said yes, but this movies like Barbie and the others also, of course, attracts. Another thing that is Harry Cohen said before was that give the people what they want, take them out of their home.
Yeah.
This is the reality. If you can give the content that you can attract the youngsters to cinema, still you can attract them. But yes, nowadays, because of the other platforms, they're all in their phone and their tablets or something. Yes.
Okay. Glass is still more important than the camera.
The lens. Is it more important than the camera?
The lenses are more. No.
These are really hard questions. I can see him.
No, because see that I do see this. What my explanation, at least for your audience, would be, see, you can use a very good camera with a very bad lens. Of course, outcomes not good. You can use a very good lens over a camera that couldn't. They should be matched together, of course, but there are varieties that you can do. You can. This question is your question is a bit hard to be answered.
People's reliance on automatic features like tracking, focusing, etc., and AI in filmmaking is really alarming. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Creativity is more important than your gears.
Then my.
Gears.
Of course, yes.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, I mean, it's the rapid questions were really interesting. But at least to close this up, do you have any message to our young audience?
Just because this question is not something that maybe for the message, I don't have any message because I'm from messages has to be delivered by Western Union.
Okay.
But that's the thing. See, autofocus tracking nowadays are quite impressive. I even shot another movie, but it was not action movie or something like that because for some reasons it was almost no budget movie. And I found, I'm not bringing the name of those, but most of them I saw, even Canon, Sony, and I don't know about, do you have any autofocus tracking systems or not? On your camera, maybe you have. I think you have, yes?
We don't.
You don't have? They were okay. They were good for some, but not for the fact. Of course, easily they can be tricked when there is a backlight or there is something, depends on the system or something. But I think the future would be that way. Okay, if the AI not taking over everything before. For us also, when we were in the university, we were thinking that technology will reach to the time that you can, with a click, make a movie. Casting Ingrid Bergman or Cary Grant together again in the different things. It would be such a thing, but if there is any creativity behind that one, is AI creativity or something, still long way, I think, long way. And there are somehow opposition to this because
Yes.
This AI will kill many jobs, and of course they will slow down or don't know what they will do. But regarding the still the best focus is the manual focus with a skilled focus puller, and because you know to where to focus or something. Those autofocus trackings, they should be capable to be programmed or to be controlled. If you just leave them to the sensors or how they are working, sometimes they will bring crazy things that you cannot work with that. Honestly.
You really inspired us here in MediaCast, and like what I said,
It's my pleasure.
I think people who's gonna be seeing this or who's watching would probably want to hear, if I'm a young cinematographer and you're doing a lot of workshops for young cinematographers, what's your usual message for them?
See, if they want to see this one as a business, it's just my business tomorrow. They can earn much more money from other businesses if they are not passionate.
Okay.
They should be really dedicate themselves to this business. They should be really fully involved in that, not just learning the techniques or the theories or something like that. They should try and error. They should watch. It's more important.
Yes.
To see, as a cinematographer, we have to watch the paintings of the masters of the painting all in the history. They had great lighting systems, many like Vermeer or maybe like Ron Brown. They brought many ideas to the lighting that today we are using. And after that, they should watch a lot. And then they have to bring new things by their creativity to the picture.
Yeah.
Then the most important is that they have to be a bit patient and passionate at the same time.
That's my strongest point, patience.
That's the peak on me.
So yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Shahram. It's really a pleasure.
It was
really
really
pleasure of
having
mine.
you
Thank
today.
you.
I really enjoyed it actually. It's very beneficial.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
And there you have it, folks. That was with Shahram. Thank you so much for joining us for the chat. I had just an enriching time, and I know those who are listening and watching found immense value in what you have shared with us today, Mr. Shahram. Thank you so much.
Very kind.
We will continue to have conversations with interesting and notable individuals in the world of creative media technology here in the UAE, and we look forward to you joining us in the next episodes. Please do follow or subscribe to whatever platform you're viewing this now, so you will get notified on succeeding episodes. Once again, my name is Majd.
And my name is Larry, and you're watching Live at MCX.